All right.
What's popping and what's dropping? This your boy Craig L. Smith, the second of the currently on hiatus podcast. And let's draw on something. Yes, I'm bringing in the intro for Jimmy J. Smooth, who represents the 832. Y'all know how he does. And once again, if y'all know who I am, I'm Craig Smith II, born and raised in the 773, relocated to the 901, moved to put up with this bullshit in the 256, and now I'm in the 662. So y'all know how I do. We got a star-studded subject filled show today. My boy Jimmy J. Smooth is not buying on Jimmy J. My boy Jimmy J. Smooth is not buying on some bullshit of Damian Lillard. We talk about the match. I take about Magic Johnson. Shannon Sharpe was right. We also we give our thoughts about this Milwaukee and Toronto series. We also go into a little quick detail about Golden State and Portland. I want to say it here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't say we were the ones that Jimmy J and I were the ones to tell you so, but we told you so. And we got some good feedback along with a lot of questions. And Jimmy has some probably got some hot chick inboxing him or something right about now while in this intro. But like I was saying, we got a boatload of fan mail questions based off of the show from what Jimmy did with me Sunday, and he had some pretty good feedback on it. So without further ado, since I'm his co-host, I'm gonna bring the host in with the most, Jimmy J. Smooth. What's going on?
What's popping and what's dropping, man? Just in chill mode. Just got off work. You know what I'm saying? And we just in this motherfucker, man. Just chilling right now, man. But we're gonna start off first thing first, of course. The boys from the Portland Trail Blazers, they got their ass handed to them. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is when it comes to the Trail Blazers. Now, BG Lillard and CJ Steve Urkel McCollum, as our boy Ticket TV called McCollum, they failed. You know what I'm saying? And I'll give CJ Cullum the benefit of the doubt, but he did do some fucking up too. You know what I'm saying? But he played a lot better than Damian BG Lillard, because that's who that motherfucker looked like. He looked like BG Lillard from the goddamn Soldier Rag album back in 1996. You know what I'm saying? That's what he looked like, goddammit. So what the hell happened with BG Lillard in the Portland Trail Blazers up in his home?
Well, it was reported that with Damian Lillard, he had a rib. He played through the whole series with a rib injury. But I don't know whether you buy that or not, Jimmy, because that's mainly this is two topics in one. Are you buying that, or you selling that about him having a rib injury?
Fuck that hoe. That bitch played like shit. That bitch played like shit, and that's what he played like. He played like simple shit, and he need to just go on and take his L's. He need to cut the bullshit, because if you're able to walk, you're able to play. If you're able to shoot the ball, you know what I'm saying, at a high rate in one series, but have an epic fail in the next series, you was healthy. I don't want to fuck your rib injury. Your rib injury is not going to play no fucking factor in basketball. Now, if I can get it if you were talking about a shoulder injury or a similar injury to what Isaiah Thomas had, but Isaiah Thomas scored 25 points. Like I said, if you able, I'm not giving no motherfucker no excuses, because if Isaiah Thomas was able to score damn near 30 points on one leg, then I'm not giving BG Lillard and Steve Urkel McCollum any excuses. I ain't got time for that damn excuse. Fuck what he talking about.
Well, good enough saying. but yeah, man, I'm buying on it a little bit, but I'm gonna have to sell on it a few things. Now, let's get with the pros and cons about everything. When you think about it, Jimmy, hypothetically, Portland could have, that's in quotes, could have won the series. Because like I said, if LaMarcus Aldridge had stayed, this series would still been continuing. Because LaMarcus would have gave Draymond problems. But no LaMarcus. Enes Cantor, we ain't gonna delve in about that. Read up on it on ESPN when some talking about what's going on with him. And Lillard along with McCollum, they were, and with the team they had, they were not gonna beat Golden State. Granted, Terry Stotts did have a damn good game plan in both games. He switched it up. Game 3, he went high-low. That's why the score was close a little bit, and Golden State pulled away. And then they also in Game 3 and Game 4, they had big leads.
Mm-hmm.
See, Terry Stotts went to a high-low offense on them. Then turned around, he did he was playing. He mixed it up. He put a Izzo on their ass too. That's why they was winning like that. But when Curry got hot, and then I don't know what happened. When Curry got hot, that was it. So Portland has nobody to fault. You can't fault the coach. And if Portland's stupid enough to fire Terry Stotts, after all the players were vocal about Portland, man, like Lillard and McCollum, all them guys in the past was vocal about them when they were first talking about firing Terry Stotts. If Portland fired Terry Stotts for this shit, they stupid as hell. He doesn't need to be fired. He's really Portland's best coach, and you know his first job was with Atlanta before Mike Woodson and Bud Budenholzer. Mike Budenholzer took over. But you gotta look at Portland, man. When I look at one word in the Portland season, overachieve. They put a lot of expectations on them a little bit too much, man. They were thinking ahead. Jim, say what you will. They were thinking ahead of too much. They were probably looking forward. Their mentality was, we want to beat Golden State, but in turn around, Golden State will use that same mentality on them. So we got, man, shit. I think Portland next year, if they can get the right guys, land the right group of guys that play with them, beside having like McCollum, you got to have an inside outside presence. You got to have somebody like a Nikola Jokic on your team. Hopefully that center that they got will be back because he's close to it. So we may see Portland. Portland may quietly be making some moves this year, and in the off season. So Portland, the only reason why Golden State beat Portland is because of Portland. So that's the way I see it.
They took advantage of every opportunity Portland mistake that Portland did. Because the thing is, Portland blew 3 20-point leads in this entire series. And they got blew out by 20, which the last series versus the Rockets, and I have to disagree with Shannon Sharp. Houston didn't get demolished. Houston just lost. That's all that was. It wasn't no demolition because, again, Portland lost by 22 in the first game. The entire series, Houston only lost by 20 points. The 4 games that Golden State beat them was a total of 20 points. You know what I'm saying? If you count every game that they lost in the series, it's a total of 37 points. You know what I'm saying? So that's a 17-point difference in 4 games. You know what I'm saying? So the thing with Portland, Stotts did a good job, but let's be clear here. The only reason why they went to the conference finals because they did not play Houston in the playoffs. Houston would have beat their ass pretty easily. It would have been no problems. They would have got destroyed by Houston. The thing was, Houston lost to Portland. Portland owned the tiebreaker in the regular season, which they only played 3 times instead of 4 times like they did Golden State and 4 times like they did Denver. So they got lucky they did not run into Houston because they got that position on default. Because what ended up happening was Portland and Houston ended up with the same record, and Portland owned the tiebreaker. So that's what ended up happening. So they didn't have to see Golden State in the second round. They didn't, they had to see Denver, which Denver shooting wise, their shooting is not on the level of the Houstons or Golden State. So they took advantage of that opportunity. As
Right.
for Stotts, I think you keep Stotts. You know what I'm saying? You might need to make a few trades, but I think you keep the two white boys, Zach Collins and Myers Leonard. You definitely keep those guys hands down because Myers Leonard, he gives you good minutes off the bench. White boy Zach Collins, who could play power forward or center, either one, he gives you good minutes off the bench. So I think you keep those two white boys. You keep Steve Urkel and Dame Lillard. You keep or BG Lillard. You keep him.
You keep the Farouk. You keep the Muslim guy. I forgot his name. Basically, you need to keep that whole team.
Yeah.
Period. Only thing what I would like to see is Enes Kanter develop an outside shot because I don't know what his problem is, man. He need to develop him an outside shot because at the center that got his leg broke can develop one. He can too. Cause this no more is the ground and pound big man era. This is you got to have all around game big man era. And some of these dudes are stubborn in their ways. So if I was Portland, I find somebody that can that's like I ain't got to say they got to play similar like Nikola Jokic or whatever. But if I would put it like this, if I was Terry Stotts, I tell these dudes, hey, y'all got to work on your outside shot. Y'all got to work on y'all pass. Y'all got to work on the other fundamentals of this shit.
But with the
study some Akeem takes.
With the center position, he at bare minimum, you need a mid-range jumper at bare minimum. I'll say in that particular perspective, 3-point, being able to shoot the 3-pointer, that may be a little bit overboard with Kanter. But as for the Golden State Warriors will have the second longest layoff in NBA history, which the Lakers had a 12-day layoff when they played Philadelphia the second time before they ended up trading away Daryl Dawkins. So the Portland, not the Portland Trail Blazers, the Golden State Warriors is in like Flynn pretty much when it comes to chilling like a villain. So they'll pretty much be waiting on this game at the rate that it's going tonight. What it looks like is Toronto's up by 10. So if the boys don't start waking up right now, they're pretty much going to go at least 6 games. You know what I'm saying? So, but if it ends up in a 7th game, at the end of the day, they still going to have to play. They still going to have to play till Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Next Thursday will be the first game of the NBA Finals. So, how does this benefit Golden State by having the second longest layoff from an NBA Finals in history, second to the Lakers? Whereas, like back then, you know what I'm saying, the other team had to go Game 7 in order for you to get that kind of layoff. But that was a rare situation at that time. Whereas today's NBA, I think they have it already mapped out on what days the NBA Finals is going to be. So how is that going to benefit the Golden State Warriors to have the second longest layoff in NBA Finals history, I should say?
Shit, not much. Depend on what Steve Kerr had him doing, because if I were them, yeah, I'll use 2 days to rest. This is what I'll do. I'll use 2 days to rest, okay? But Thursday and Friday, hey, film session. They need to take advantage of that shit, man. Instead of just resting up and everything, y'all need to pray. Y'all shit. Being that, as you say, Jimmy, that you say you're gonna be doing film study on NFL offenses, passing old and stuff, past and the present. Golden State need to do some film study on either Toronto or Milwaukee. And they really need to get better with their damn defense. I mean, because hell, I'm like, if I was Steve Kerr, I'd tell these dudes, hey, y'all gotta, we're off, hey. Matter of fact, start getting back in business tomorrow. That's what I do. They need to do some damn film study, and they need to do every fucking thing. Because you're gonna have the weekend off.
Oh yeah.
No, Monday, but and Memorial Day off. After the holiday is back to business. Shit.
Oh yeah.
But it may not benefit Golden State in the long run. So
I don't know.
It might not.
I don't know because I think if they get back KD on game 1 or game 2, that will benefit them. I think it will because they got injuries that they need to take care of. That's first. That's where the advantage come in. But everybody who's healthy, then I say yes, they need to get back in the gym expeditiously. And for the record, by the way, I'm talking about both football and basketball as well. I'm doing film studies on both sports, how old school principles in both basketball and football. For the record, but. Yeah, I'm total agreement with you on that one. I think they should get back in the weight room, get back in film study, and just prepare for whoever comes out. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we're saying Milwaukee gonna beat the shit out of the Toronto Raptors, shit, hell, they might fuck around and surprise the hell out of us. You know what I'm saying? You know, as I call them, the Craptors. The Craptors might fuck around and surprise us. So. It is what it is. Do you got anything before we go on to the next topic?
Oh no.
So Milwaukee Bucks, man, they lost their first game Sunday night. They're looking like they may lose this game, but it's still early. It's still in the third quarter. What was your take on that game 3 loss up in Toronto, and how do you think the series is going to play?
I still think it's going to be 6. But the way Milwaukee played reminded me of the way that Milwaukee played in game 1 against the Celtics, especially Giannis.
Right.
Because Giannis played like shit in this game. As a matter of fact, everybody played like shit, but except Brogdon. But it can go either way. Now, if Kawhi Leonard start getting hot, and by the way, imagine how sweet it would be if Toronto were to get into the NBA Finals with Kawhi Leonard instead of DeMar DeRozan. Think about that for a minute.
Wow.
But think about y'all and anybody in the chat room, you join us, welcome. Shout out to Marcus Johnson and everybody else. But think about that for a minute, guys. If Toronto make it to the NBA Finals with Kawhi Leonard and win, just imagine how bittersweet DeMar DeRozan will be.
Right.
But Milwaukee, but DeMar DeRozan, but Milwaukee, man, I still say it's gonna be 6 games. But it depends on it, because right now we're not predicting series. I'm gonna go one step further. This is any team series that's going to win in 6 games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is nothing. Enough about that. What's your take, brother?
My take is I still think Milwaukee's going to win because they're the better team offensively. Defensively, they're hit or miss, but that remains to be seen. But I think Milwaukee's going to pretty much win it either in 5 or 6 games, like you say, man. Because I think when they go back to Milwaukee, they're not going. I don't see Toronto winning a game in Milwaukee, even if this shit goes 7. I don't see them hoes winning a game in Milwaukee. Period. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to that particular game, man.
Yeah. Yep.
So it is what it is. But on the next subject, man, the Lakers.
Hold up. Speaking of Lakers, what's this? What is this about Kobe Bryant may have a future star in his family? His oldest daughter?
That's what it's looking like. It's looking like his daughter may be because I've seen some highlight films on her. She's got a little game, man. So she may be in the WNBA or somewhere playing professional from what I'm looking at. So she looking good. I'll say that. If that's his oldest daughter, whatever daughter, because I only think he has 2 children anyway. I think she looked good, man.
3.
As far he has 3. Oh damn, Kobe wasn't playing. He had no boys. Did he? It's just all girls.
No, all 3 girls. Because By the time baby girl was born, the two oldest ones were approaching teenagers. Now the oldest one was already a teenager, and the youngest one was a couple years away. So I think Vanessa. Wow, I'm calling on the first name basis, but let me do her respect. Miss Vanessa. I think she was pregnant with baby girl around about the time he had retired. So I think it was around about 2012, 2013, one. Jimmy, you can look that up. But yeah, I mean, Kobe, I have to look this up. I mean, because you just brought this to my attention now. Because yeah, she's probably gonna be. She's probably. I'm gonna put it like this. Whatever his oldest daughter's name is. Shit, excuse me, y'all. I apologize.
Natalia
Bryant. Well, I think Natalia should go to the college level first. And on behalf of Jimmy J. Smooth and myself and everybody else in the chat room and all around the world, let me remind a certain someone one thing and heed my advice. Hey, ESPN, if Natalia Bryant's name come out y'all fucking mouth, don't hype her up. Thank you. Sincerely, fans of Kobe Bryant. Now, yeah, I mean,
she's currently breaking news there. She's currently pregnant with a fourth child. Damn, Kobe in that pussy. Damn. Yes, according to TMZ. I just went to the article of where they're talking about she looking like TMZ, where they're saying Natalia's looking like her dad. No, I'm sorry, it's Gianna. I'm sorry on that. That's probably the second oldest, Gianna. But whatever. Nevertheless, I mean, she looks like she got a bright future. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the girl got a little 3-point shot. And then they said Umenyiora, the guy from Gino Umenyiora from I can't even pronounce this dude's name for shit, but Gino from UConn is watching some of her games. So she go to UConn. I think that's gonna be a good decision.
Oh God. If she goes to UConn, that's automatically 3 national championships right there, dog.
Yeah. If Gino still had the ability to coach, because please note, Gino's like in his 60s from what I understand. He's approaching it.
Yeah, he's approaching because he started coaching when he was like in his 20s.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up his age for verification, but he's up there. So if he's still healthy enough to coach, I mean, shit. I mean, that'll be, yes, he is 65. Wow.
He don't look it.
Yeah.
He don't look it.
He sure as hell. Yeah, and he's Italian, so a lot of Italians keep their age well. So yeah, man. Kobe's daughter is looking good for 13 now. So don't get it twisted now. But I think he's gonna make sure she has him, regardless if he's still there or not. I think whoever coach gonna be coached behind Gino, I think he's gonna make sure she's all right. In turn, get coached very well though. But if he's there long enough to coach, if he's there long enough to coach her, oh shit.
Yeah. Hey, I'll put it like this. As long was it Giovanna? That's the oldest one.
Gianna.
As long as Gianna is there, Gino needs to stay there. When she get out, Gino should hang it up.
Yeah, because by the time she gets, I say in 5 years, he'll be 70. So I think, yeah, he pretty much just need to chill back, because if he's at the games and stuff like that, they're scouting female basketball players like they do boys basketball team players at an early age, especially when their dad played in the NBA. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say a lot of these older older kids, a lot of these kids who have who are the older sibling, they really watch those guys. Just like LeBron Jr. I think LeBron Jr. is possible. I'm not saying it will happen, but it's possible his son may be better than LeBrick. LeBrick Senior. I can't call him LeBron. I call him baby boy LeBron, but I can't call you. I can't call him
LeBrick.
I call him LeBrick. So,
yep.
But his son turned out to be better than him. You know what I'm saying? At the rate he's going, because he. No, I'm just saying he already. Okay.
No, I was talking to my mom's, man. I was on my sorry about that, y'all. But go.
But yeah, he may turn out to be better than LeBron. I'll say that in that retrospect, though. So it is what it is, man. It is.
And speaking of the Lakers, I listened to that Magic Johnson interview, and I gotta say this.
Mm-hmm.
I got to roll with Magic on that one. With him, but him being the Leo, he was up front and honest. He was up front with honest in anything. And I'm gonna tell you something. When Kobe's agent all of a sudden became general manager, you weren't fooling nobody just by looking at Rob Pelinka. You knew what kind of a person he was. He'll go back. He was one of the type of ones that go back there to smile in your face and turn around and stab you in the back. I enjoyed every bit of it. But the one thing I didn't enjoy about it was the fact that he did it on ESPN instead with Skip and Shannon. I think that interview would have been a little bit better, would have been better on Undisputed than it was on First Take. So I do agree with some things that Magic did say. And he wasn't telling us something that everybody was knowing about with Jeannie Buss, because, when he said, he had Phil Jackson, her boo thing, advising on a lot of things, and then turn around, you had Linda Rambis advising on some things, and Kurt Rambis. But he did mention, he said, keep in mind, he said he was glad to see Kurt back, because him and Kurt pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they're teammates, of course. So yeah, he's gonna cut for his teammate. They
were pretty cool. But now all of a sudden, Rob Pelinka said, I've heard from Magic's comments. Why would he say that? Why would he do this and do that? It's simple. You're a snake. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that interview, man. So what's your take on that?
Man, Rob Pelinka's a hoe. I'm gonna just keep it 1,010, man. Rob Pelinka is an entire hoe, man. If I sound like I'm coming from a background, I'm going to drink some. But anyway, Rob Pelinka's a hoe. Rob Pelinka's a hoe. And I think Magic should have knew better though. But Jeannie Buss is at fault for all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Jeannie Buss is 1,000% fault for his bullshit, because she told Magic Johnson, said from the jump, hey, I need control over this shit. I need control. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't keep her end of the bargain. And Magic is a smart businessman. Magic is not close to a billionaire for no reason at all. You know what I'm saying? And Jeannie Buss should have put her ego aside and not have Rob Pelinka, old snake ass, involved.
True. And I think when you think about it, Magic did G-check some folks, though.
Exactly. He a Leo. He a damn Leo. I mean, Magic smiles. One thing about Leos can be professional as hell, but when you get in closed door situation, I mean, some Leos is loud as hell, because I come from a family full of Leos. My martial art instructors, my first 4 high-ranked guys who taught me martial arts is Leos. You know what I'm saying? And they're every bit of the description of a Leo. So from a person that grew up with them, from the people that taught me how to fight, the reality of the situation is, with Leos, if you don't give Leos their way, you finna have a problem with them. Especially if they know what the fuck they talking about. Some Leos, they arrogant as hell. But Magic Johnson is a successful businessman outside of the NBA. And then he's helped bring people to the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? He's really the guy that helped brought Shaq to the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? You know, because at that time, Magic Johnson owned stock in the LA Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, this man has contributed to basically 10 championships. You know what I'm saying? As a co-owner and an advisor to the team, and as a player. So the thing is, the Buss family ought to be ashamed. Jeanie Buss in particular. I ain't gonna put it on all of them because he said the other Buss family, Buss siblings is cool. But Jeanie Buss,
he did say that. But yeah, he said about the brothers. Not the one I don't know which one was the one she kicked off, but he said, but Jeanie, said in more ways than one. And see, I'm gonna talk about somebody on here in a minute. Matt, when Max Kellerman had asked Magic about if he regretted anything or whatever, now Magic was brutally honest. He just says a lot of things. He's not a regretful person. It's something, a lot of things he don't regret he done. But Max Kellerman still asked this man another question. And when Magic looked at him, he said, Max, again. I'm like, Max, I'm like, dude, really? Now you're being stupid now. Come on. Magic did admit there's a lot of regrets that he does, a lot of mistakes he don't, a lot of things he doesn't regret doing. Right. That's one thing about Leo's, he's honest. And like you said about with a Leo, they're professional, smile at you to be cordial with you, but behind closed doors is a whole different fucking story. They either plotting to help you, or they plotting to fuck you. Now, like you said, people in your family, Jimmy, and like your martial arts instructor, Leo's, I'm finna run down my family tree. What most of all I know. On my mom's side, okay. On my mom's side, let's start with mom's. Mom's, okay. Mom's is a Capricorn. Her mother, my grandmother, God rest her soul, is a Gemini. That dude that called himself being her father was a Taurus.
Right.
Okay. Pops. I don't know what my grandfather Lee Wesley was. I think he was I don't know what he was. His mother was a Cancer.
Right.
His sister is an Aries.
Right.
Uncle Wes is a Virgo. He was a Virgo. Myself, I'm a Libra.
Right.
And I guess everybody on both sides of their family knew when I was born in October, they all knew they were fucked. So, and like Libras, like Leos, yeah, we're professional, but behind closed doors, we're going to put these side, tell you how it is. We ain't going to backstab your ass. But everybody say Libras is people from the north and Libras are snakes. That's a bunch of bullshit. But man, I want Magic just, I agree with everything what Magic has said. It's a lot of things we even been speculating on, and what really told on itself was the fact that ESPN was getting ready to do a column talking about how Magic was running the front office, and the Lakers blackballed it, kind of blocked that from coming out. Magic's right. And I put it like this. I would say if Magic was to own the Lakers, he'd get rid of Rob Pelinka.
Damn right.
He'll put Jerry West back in running the front office.
Yeah, because from my understanding, Jerry West have say so with the Golden State Warriors, which is why they're making the move. They made the moves they're making. I think he's like
he's with the Clippers now.
He's with the Clippers? Oh damn! Wow. But I know but please note the foundation of the Golden State Warriors started with Jerry West. Yeah, because he was.
He wasn't too happy about them letting Mark Jackson go. That's why he left. He wasn't too happy. Oh, he wasn't happy about that.
Yeah.
He was a great guy to meet in person, though, man. But
yeah, he's cool as hell. I had the opportunity to meet Jerry West when he was the general manager of the Grizzlies, and he built the foundation of the team that Lionel Hollins had. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
he built that foundation there. The foundation was there, and then he stepped aside. You know what I'm saying? Like he should have. You know, because from my understanding, he was living like in Collierville, some fucking where. So, you know, he real cool guy. Real cool guy. I mean,
and I think nothing bad to say about him either, because I met him. I was coming out of the First Tennessee Bank. I had jury duty. I cashed my little $62 check I had from jury duty. It was First Tennessee. I was like, okay. So I left out, and I had me a Honda Accord that time, and I had parked it somewhere. Now I wanted to go ahead and hurry up, beat the parking before the parking meter ran out. And I looked up. It was a black guy walking. I looked. I said, "Mr. West," and I shook him, stuck my hand out. He said, "Hello." I said, "How you doing?" I said, "Nice to meet you." He said, "Same here." We talked. So you have a good day. And man, when I got home and Jimmy, I looked at my hand, dude. When I got home, I told Pops when he was sober, when he wasn't hit hard to cancer that time. I said, "Man, you'll never believe who I met downtown." Said, "Who?" I said, "Take a guess." I said, they play basketball. Said, "Play basketball." Said, "The Grizzlies?" I said, "Yeah, Grizzlies." And they were saying kind of like saying all the players and stuff. Then they turned around and said, I said, "Well, I'll give you a hint." I said, logo. Purple and gold. And Pops didn't catch on, but Moms was like, logo, purple and gold. She said, Lakers. I said, uh-huh. She said, Jerry West. I said, yup. She's like, and Pops like, what? You didn't get his other? I said, see, if you had a K down, I said, man, if y'all were with me, Moms would have had a chance to be one of the teams, one of the guys she grew up watching.
Wow.
Yeah. But like I said, but with the Magic thing that's going on, man, I think, but I'm gonna be honest with you, with that interview, do not be surprised if Skip Bayless and Shannon interview him. I think, the old adage is you teach someone what they know, but you don't teach them what you know.
Yeah.
That was Magic. He told First Take what he wanted them to know, but he didn't tell him what all he knows. So I think he gonna go on Undisputed and just let loose.
That could happen. I'm not gonna say he will on there, but I say that could happen. That could happen. But one thing about Magic, I don't think he's gonna throw Genie under the bus, but I think Rob Pelinka is he's gonna light Rob Pelinka ass up for sure. That's
hell yeah.
And
Rob Pelinka, he hurt my feelings when he did his press conference. Those comments hurt my feelings. Well, Rob, on behalf of Jimmy J. Smooth and everybody else, you want to know what hurts my feelings as well? Not having money to take a nice girl out, then get lucky in the following week. So it is what it is. Now, Jimmy, what's your next topic?
My next topic is Sam Mitchell had left the Memphis Tigers days after the Memphis Tigers became the number one recruiting class in the nation, according to Rivals, 24/7 Sports, and the ESPN poll. So they're pretty much a unanimous number one team in terms of recruiting. What is your take on Sam Mitchell leaving, and what do you think caused Sam Mitchell to get the fuck out of there?
Being Sam Mitchell. He comes across as a strange cat to me, man. I mean, that time when he was coaching Minnesota Timberwolves before Tom Thibodeau got there, I will give him credit on one thing. He stayed on Andrew Wiggins' ass. Cause see, everybody thought that Jimmy Butler was the only one to get him to stay on Andrew Wiggins' ass. It was Sam Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know too much about Sam because he looked like the kind of dude that just. I mean, I heard he played with the Timberwolves now when they were an expansion team, but I don't know what to make of that, man. I mean, coaches do, and put it like this: coaches do strange shit, you know. So I guess, but a part of me feel now I'm Jimmy. I'm getting ready to pull something what Memphis cats to do. Get ready. Well, man, I ain't there, man. Oh, him and Penny was having some problems, dog. But don't give me the line. But you ain't heard from me, though. Don't give me the line, though. But in reality, it may have been something going on. It may have been. Maybe Sam just didn't. I don't know. That's why I said Sam Mitchell was a strange bird in the nest to me on that one, man. I can't call it.
I don't know. This is just very odd to me. It could be something that went on, and it could be not, man. But this is very odd after Penny brought in a recruiting class that coaches is dream for. Because think about it, man. I mean, it's hard to get a number one recruiting class, especially with the top level assistants that you have on that team. You know, you got Tony Matlock, you got Mike Miller, and Sam Mitchell. You know, all together put in the work, as well as Penny Hardaway, especially Penny Hardaway having the Penny Hardaway name. So that's strange as hell. I mean, why would you get rid of a potential? Why would you leave a potential Final Four team as an assistant? You know what I'm saying? And I say potential because I still think they're like an Elite Eight, Sweet 16 at worst, but I say Elite Eight team with the recruiting class they got. I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket, but that's odd as hell. I mean, they just took Duke's position at number one. You know, Duke took Gonzaga's position, and then Memphis took Duke's position at number one. So, I mean, that's crazy, bro. I mean, that's odd to me. That's very, very, very odd as hell to me. So we'll find out. I hope it ain't nothing too bad. So it is what it is. So let's get to the viewer questions.
Okay. Well, before that, got some good feedback on the show. They gave you a whole lot of props, Jimmy, because you asked a lot of questions, but we forgot to tell some stories though. I did, but a lot of people enjoyed the show. Some people felt that really my mom should have joined in on the show as well. But let me tell the viewers this. I mean, you know, hey, when y'all get older, if you with your significant other, man, and you've been with one man or one woman for so long as my moms and pops have, and a correction on how long they were together, they met at a Christmas party in 1975, I believe. They were just pretty tight. They were talking, and then they just went on ahead, and months later, they just went on and decided to become serious. And in real talk, you know, my moms didn't want to date Pops because it's still an old school rule with my mom to this day. If you fuck her over one time, she's done with you all the time. You know, my Pops case, God rest his soul. You know, if you say you one thing when they turn around, you the opposite, she ain't gonna too much fuck with you. But Pops is an exception to the rule, but she told me that she did get him back in. She did give him a dose of his own medicine and kind of made him see how it feel. So, like I said, Capricorn, Mom's, Taurus, the Bull, whose head is strong. So, but yeah, I did get some viewer questions, man, in pertaining to the show. And it was addressed to me, and I'm going to read this one. It said, "Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Craig. First of all, I'd like to thank Jimmy for putting on one hell of a show by asking all the good questions about his co-host's life, family life. What I was more entertained about was about the fact in regards to Craig's uncle, Uncle Wesley, or as he would always, as I would catch him slip and say, his Craig is, had his Uncle West, if his Uncle West was living today, and if his pops was living today, who would have been more successful, and what would their relationship been like?" Wow. And I failed to, and did I say who was it asked? Did I say who one that was asked? Because the question was so fucking good. Did I mention who asked this?
Who asked that?
Guy by the name of Tim. And he's from the Chi. Wow, Tim, that's a damn good question. I know in August, toward the end of August, first of all, yeah, I always called, as a little child, I did call I called my Uncle Wesley, my Uncle West. So, because, to me, that was my own uncle. He was cool as fuck, but he would have been 69 this year and possibly been 67. I still think, and the question he asked about the successful part was in reference to you, Jimmy, about when you asked me who has been more successful between the two brothers. Let's just call it stalemate. I think had my Uncle West lived, he would have married Anita, he would have had some children, and he would have settled down to the life he wanted to have. He would have settled down that life he wanted to have settled down.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that he would have been somewhere. He probably, but as far as career wise, I think my uncle would have been pretty good in the art field or whatever his field of trade in the workplace would have been in, whatever it was. As far as Pops went, I'll tell you this though, and spin it at Tim. I think my Uncle West would have been proud of him for Pops having his own, starting to have his own business, with Smith Painting, bringing in the clientele that he would have brought in and stuff like that. And let alone, I think Pops would have brought his brother in. As far as like with detailing ideas and stuff like that, as far as being like art and commercial art or whatever, on that deal. But it would have been a stalemate on that, man, because they both would have been proud. They both would have been proud of each other. It wouldn't have been no heavy competition as to. It's like saying like if my Uncle West bought two Rolexes, then Pops turned around and buy three. And then Pop, vice versa. Then Uncle West buy him a bigger car. Then if Pops bought him a big Cadillac, Uncle West would have bought him a bigger Cadillac. I'm just saying hypothetically, because that's kind of competition. They wouldn't be in the competition with one another. But both of the brothers would have been proud of each other, man. They really would have. Man. I'm pretty sure right now they talking about what could have been while guarding the gates of heaven up there. But Tim, to answer your question, that was a damn good question, man. It would have been pretty much stalemate. They both would have been proud of one another. So, I had to put a pause on that because I didn't cry on that. So, But Tim did give you props, Jimmy, for coming with the good questions, man, and he said he enjoyed the show.
Appreciate it. Much
From some,
respect. Much respect. And a lot of those questions
all
I
right,
had in my notes, but I was able to memorize them for some reason. So because I have interviewed a few boxers on Dante's Boxing Nation. Definitely shout out to that brother. So I mean, it's just something I memorized, and hey, I did the best I could. So it is what it is. Any other questions or feedback, man?
yeah, a couple more questions on this.
Okay.
Um, Tamika here from Memphis, Tennessee. She said, "Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Craig. The show, guys. Loved it. But she said, but I want to ask Craig this question, and I'm surprised Jimmy did. I'm surprised Jimmy did not ask this question. Craig had said on a couple of shows back with the preview of it that he was going to tell the story about his pops putting a hit out on somebody in regards to what they done to pops. Excuse me, but what they done to Craig. Could Craig please tell that story for all the listeners, since he did get the chance to tell us Sunday?
Wow.
Yes, Tamika, I will. And no, this wasn't no little drive-by hit, no pew pew, holla at you. No, it wasn't that type of hit. Um, October 1994. I was in 11th grade. I just turned 16. Okay. Uh, Mom's hit on the day of my birthday on K97. K97 had this money game going on, and Mom's won me a Jeep just off of one lucky guess. She won a G on my birthday. Pops was out in the damn street doing what the fuck he ain't had no goddamn business doing, instead of having his ass home. So uh he decided to come home after he found out that I won them some money. And I was like, no, Miles won me that money for my birthday. So, holla, that was my money to use. But anyway, to make a long story short, I went up to this Kroger up here at Southgate Shopping Center. And at times, man, like if I told Moms, I said, hey, I need some money because I wanted to buy me. I was big into the all the video game magazines and shit. Because I wanted to buy me the Sport News College Basketball Preview and a video game magazine, the Electronic Gaming Monthly, EGM. So I concocted this scheme where I said I was going to go over to a friend of mine's house or whatnot, but then turn around, instead of me just, when a buddy of mine wasn't at home, I decided, instead of me just taking my ass on back home, I decided to make a walk up there to Southgate Shopping Center. And keep in mind, this is a time period when everything was booming back in late 94, 95. The Kroger on Poplar the Kroger over there on Poplar in Cleveland, which was the spot, but now it's more like a prison because now it's iron gates around this son of a bitch. Now, and the Kroger at Southgate is nothing more than just the hood Kroger.
Right.
But anyway, I went up there. Okay, but anyway, I went up there and got my magazines and shit. And there was this dude, he called himself the security guard. He called himself looking tough or whatever. So, saw the books I wanted. And as I told in the story, I said I just told Moms what I want, where I was actually going. I told her I was going over a friend's house. Because, see, if I had asked her to give me some money to buy the book, she would have said no. Which I kind of knew, which would have been effed up. But I'm gonna tell you the kind of the fuck move that Pops did afterwards, after this story. What the fuck moves they both did with my money. So I get the books, because this is what I did. I'm gonna tell you I'm sharing secrets. What I did, I would always scout the area, scout my aisles, of where I'm gonna hide and do all this and that shit, and also pay attention to the oval mirror. I was good at the fact of ducking and dodging the sight of the oval mirror, and I had my escape route planned. Took the books, thought I had a clean getaway. Security guard caught me, and security guard made one fuck up because normally during around about that time, if you stole something that was under like $20 or whatever, they take it back. They wouldn't see you juvenile. They just tell you got a choice. Once I throw your ass out the store, you can't come back no more. Because if you do, you're going down to juvie. That by right was supposed to been happening. But this security guard decided to go into business for himself along with the little the fuck boy bag boy. Cussed out. I told him to go fuck himself. And anyway, when the security guard had arrested me, they still had those those hard ass iron shelves still up, right? The security guard slammed my fucking head on that shit, the side of my head on that shit. That shit hurt. And Jimmy, and believe me, I was mad as a motherfucker. And I rose up and said, "What the fuck you doing?" And I said, "Man, fuck wrong with you? Slam my fucking head like that. The hell wrong with you?" So he slammed it again, and then he gonna slam it again. Turn the fuck around and shut up. I said, "Okay." So he took me up. They always gotta take a picture. And I told him, I said, "Man, you didn't have no business slam my head on the rail like that." So the security guard talking about, "Well, I did what I had to do." I said, "Okay." And I was like, I said, "Well, my pops find out what you did. I want you to tell him that." So he like, "Oh, your pops must be one of them old punk ass niggas." I said, "No, he ain't no punk. He ain't no punk." And then the manager and the bag boy that was whatever, they were talking shit, talking about, "Oh, he just saying he." I said, "Okay." So there's gonna be a plot hole in this after I tell you about that. So when they picked me up from juvenile and shit, I had to hear pops and shit and all that. Now the fuck move that moms and pops made was the remaining little bit of that $1,000 I had. They decided to pay bills with that shit with my money. Okay, so yeah, I was pissed about that, and pops decided to punish me by saying, "Well, I know you're supposed to get lunch money, but guess what? You just gonna have to starve." Talking about you can't, whatever it is you was planning on getting on lunch. Oh well, you just gonna have to be hungry on lunch. I said, "Okay," and that was true, because that man he didn't even want to give me no money for lunch, nothing. And keep in mind, Jimmy, as I said, he always, like I said on the last show, he would always come home when somebody had some money in the house. All right, so yeah, so when I got home, this guy, I'm not gonna say his real name, but he had an alias, and it's nothing to laugh at. A guy by the name of Peanut had asked me. He said, "Hey, Craig, what's going on, man?" I said, "Nothing much," because everybody knew I was the neighborhood nerd, but pretty too much didn't nobody bother me, because pretty much didn't nobody bother me. So Peanut was like, he said, "Hey, Craig, what's going on?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Man, your pops home?" I said, "Man, hey, I just stepped on out. I just walked up, bro." He said, "Well, hey, listen, if he in there," and Peanut said this. He said, "Well, hey, if he in there, or when he get home, you tell him that problem he got." So I was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right." Now he would tell me this story. He never would tell me this story all during this time, but then all of a sudden he decided to tell me 2 years later. he said that he said because he just came out with it. He said, you know that he said, on the day you saw, I said, yeah. He said, well, I went up there the following day to confront that security guard because I want to tell his ass I didn't appreciate him. He said, but I did confront that bad boy and the manager. So, but he said his main concern was security guard. And see what the manager of the store at the time didn't know. Pops had a friend working up there. And she still tell me this story years later. She said, she said, something told me to come to work that day, shit, because had I known if it was you he grabbed, I would have paid for your books. And I wouldn't have said nothing to your daddy. But the only thing you had to do was you had to stay out of sight for a while from that store. She said, that's what you would have done. That's what I would have told you to do. But from what his friend was saying, that was a cashier, because said that a lot of folks would want to kick his ass for the longest. So Pops came out with it, but now I'm finna get on to the hit. I'm sorry for dragging the whole story out. To make the long story short, Pops has sent Peanut and a couple of guys. They were locals. Let's just put it like that. They were locals. Local dudes in the hood. And from what Pop's friend has said, what happened afterwards, they said them boys whipped the shit out of his ass. And Pops told me, he said, yeah, yeah, you welcome about that. And he's like, his friend said, I knew this had your handiwork on it. Cause they hollered and said, you ever put your hands on Smitty's son again, we're gonna come up here and fuck you up again. When they said his name, he said, I didn't give a damn about them saying my name. He said, I told them to say it. He said, because it was better for me to send them boys up there to whoop his ass than I would have. He said, because I would have killed him. Respect. So that was the hit. That was the hit. And it said, and the way they told the story was, said we went up there, said because they splintered it off, because it was like a group of 6 guys that came, and Peanut would tell me the whole story later, and the other guys, they said, man, remember when your dad told us to go up there and whip that security guard about your ass? Said, man, we executed. He said, we pulled that off good. He said, because we went over the magazine, Section 3 went over the magazine aisle. Said we made like one of us gonna steal it. And then he said we split the other 3 up like we was about to do something. And said, man, they beat the shit out they beat the shit out the security guard, and they said they did the same thing to him as he did to me. Rammed his head on the side of that shelf 3 times, and one of the dudes said, and that's when one of the dudes said, yeah, now you see how the fuck it feel. Since you ever put your hands on Smitty's son next time, he said that his ass coming up here next. And they said since then, that man ain't been back since. And I think and for what Pops had told me, what his friend was telling him that was working up there at the time, wanted to know, him and the bag boy wanted to know, who's this guy named Smitty? Who's this guy named Smitty? Said, y'all know that little boy, y'all know the boy, y'all know the young man, y'all's head, the security guard slammed his head on their rail. Well, how it was, said, yeah. That's his father. Said, so you better be glad he was. He said his dad would have killed him.
Sure.
And ever since then, they couldn't say shit to me when I was up there at that store. And Jim Manager's like, you look familiar. I said, yeah, I know I did. I said, your security guard got his ass whooped by my father. Oh yeah. You good. Uh-huh. So, yeah. So that was the story about the hit.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. No, because if I'm pretty sure if the roles were reversed, if my child, if I had a teenage son that was innocent of wrongdoing, and I found out the security guard had done something to him, oh yeah, I'm gonna personally pay his ass a visit. But here's my difference. I ain't got no problem getting my hands dirty.
I heard that.
That's how I would be. Because if I found out you put your hands on if I had a child, you put your hands on my child in any form, way, shape, or form, I'm beating your ass. You only got one time with me to tell the truth. I will beat the shit out your ass. I don't care what you is.
I agree.
So that's how that he was. Next question about this. This comes from Maya. Wanted to know. She said, "Hey Jimmy, hey Craig. First of all, I tip my hat to Jimmy. Damn good show Sunday. Didn't give a damn how long it was.
Most definitely.
What I want to know from what I want to know from Craig is, did his pops have any enemies? If so, who? If you can name a few, and what was the reason why?" Whew. I don't think shit. Well, to my knowledge, I don't think Pops had a lot of enemies. I mean, he did fuck around. He did fuck with the wrong people, because I recall one time back in 2008 or think 2008 or something like that. He got jumped by a couple of young dudes on his way back home. Matter of fact, he went through a short. He went through a shortcut he didn't have no business going through, and he got his ass kicked, and he got knocked around his head a couple of times. So, but I don't think if Pops did have some enemies, then it's probably was known to my mom and some of his friends. But to me, I don't know. But I know he did get jumped by some young guys and shit. Back here back in 2008. But as far as enemies, I don't. I'll take it back. There were a smidgen. It was a smidgen of them that you know could have puffed the wrong way. But I will say this on the funny, some of his little fluky fuck followers from FedEx, some of them nigga friends of his. I ain't talking about the good ones, the ones that didn't mean worth for shit to him, would probably say that I was his enemy. I wouldn't consider myself his enemy. I consider myself as his better.
Good way of putting that.
Because whereas he got his respect. I had my respect for some folks. I had some disrespect, but I just didn't do things the way he did things. So I was more of despite my pops being older than me, I was more of his better. I wasn't his enemy. I was his better, and part of him didn't like that. So, but it is what it is on that. And here's a question from yours truly, Jimmy. Me.
All right.
What was the issue with that dude Sunday? Did he ever answer your challenge? Did he have the stones to answer your challenge?
No, he didn't. He just did the typical trolling that he did. I mean, that's all he came in the chat room to do, was basically troll and cause confusion. And I ain't got time for that. If you gonna come in my chat room and disrespect me and say all types of white supremacist shit in my chat room, then you gotta bounce. And I gave him a fair shot to be challenging. All he did was like, well, just send the link. I'm like, no, do you agree to the terms? Well, like, just send the link. You know, he came from multiple accounts. And to make a long story short is I don't he's not on my level. And if I saw him in person, I would slap the shit out that motherfucker. Real talk. And then he brought some more minions. They probably still in the chat room. And I tell that motherfucker right now, go eat a dick. That's what he can do. So it is what it is when it comes to that.
Yeah, okay, but let me go back on that. And see, this is what I didn't like though. When you told him he gonna tell you to send the link, you know, he kind of contradicted himself. You sent the link, but when you told him to agree to the terms, you got to agree to the terms to come face to face with somebody.
Yeah, because
just like when because I know how it works here on this podcast. You send me the link on Hangouts, I click it, we talk our shit. Well, matter of fact, I click on it, and then it'll ask me if I agree to the terms, and then I'll proceed. So he really did contradict himself because I don't even know this dude. And I'm gonna tell you this here. If you fuck around going on my videos and dislike my shit a whole lot more, then you're gonna kill some subscribers. And the way I see it is your 16 thumbs down, you kind of fucked up Jimmy J's bread there, and let alone you fucked up a good show by having folks thinking, somebody gave the show 16 thumbs down because maybe a lot of folks that knew Craig's dad like this shit. No, we had a fucking damn troller. Yeah. So, so whoever the hell you are, hold it thought. So whoever the fuck this dude was, I don't appreciate you disrespecting Jimmy J like that. And if you come on my page like that, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a G-check your ass. And if you don't know what G-check means, that means I'm a gut check your ass. That's what G-check means, gut check. So if you ain't got the cojones, or you don't have the cojones to step up to Jimmy, and if you get on my page and put a shitload of this thumbs down on my videos, and if you ain't got the balls, step up to me. Little boy, I'm gonna call like this here, the call like it is. Little boy, let me tell you something. In a fist fight in a middle chest, I will own your ass.
I agree.
And then if you talk about threat, and then if you talking about, or if you want to go a little step further, say, well, I'm gonna threaten legal action with Jimmy J's co-host, what's his name, Craig Jericho, Craig Smith, and that Jimmy J Smooth guy. Let me tell you something about me. Oh, my lawyers will be nice about your ass and get through with you, but with Jimmy's lawyers, they will fuck you up so hard with fees and shit. Your ass be living off your teeth.
Exactly.
So you don't want to fuck with us, let alone you don't want to fuck with Jimmy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So imagine pawning one of your teeth just to buy yourself a pack of ramen noodles. So next time when he tell you to accept the fucking terms and to settle y'all shit like men, don't bitch out. Do like the fuck he asked you.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you this here, whatever your name is, you better know. What was his name if you remember?
Some Yeti dude, but he came from like at least 15 different accounts from what I understand. Though.
All right, well, I'm going to give him a new name. Well, Yeti times 15, if you come at me on my YouTube page, I'm going to chew your ass out.
Yeah.
If I find myself seeking legal action on your ass, or Jimmy, like I told you, Jimmy's lawyers have your ass pawning your teeth so you can buy your pack of 99-cent ramen noodles. Me, I bet it, me, I'm gonna strip your ass to the point where you got to start all over again.
Yeah.
But it is what it is on that. So I'm telling you this here. Anybody, I don't give a damn who it is, if it's a Yeti guy or any fucking spammer that gets on here and troll this show, don't do it. Don't do it.
Most definitely.
If you want to keep your bread in your pocket, in your savings account, and your savings bonds and your IRAs or whatever, don't fucking do it.
Exactly.
Because Jimmy will own your ass.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So, do you got anything else before we go on and get about this hoe?
Just a couple quick announcements, man. If anybody's living in Memphis, Tennessee or whatnot, or that's listening, hey, the annual Southside Alumni Picnic, all the alumni graduating classes will be at Pine Hill Park, right behind the Pine Hill Community Center this Saturday. I will make my return to the picnic, hopefully. I haven't been since 2015, so I definitely look forward to seeing all my class of '96 mates there. Let me rephrase that. I definitely would love to see all the graduating classes there, range from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, especially the ones from 93, 94, and 95. And I would especially love to see, emphasis on the words, especially, would love to see most of my classmates from the class of '96. And I would say this: I plan on having a good time with either one of the classes, because I would be fucking damned if somebody decided to go into business for themselves at my expense to try to ruin a fucking good time for me. Because if somebody plans on doing that, they have got to be the most stupidest. They have got to be either born stupid or just decide to just wake up one morning and say, "Hey, well, Craig finna be at the picnic. I guess I'll fuck up his good time today." The picnic is not a time to be going to bed. Alumni picnic is not the time. And I repeat, not the time to be going into business for yourself, trying to expose somebody. We're all there having a great time. If people still got issues with one another, look, flush that shit down the toilet.
Agreed.
We're there to have a good time. Don't go, and if you plan on coming up to the picnic, spouting out everybody else's personal life, do yourself a favor. Make yourself not welcome.
Exactly.
Because when I went 2015, hey, damn near everybody, all the South Memphis was out there, and we even had some folks from Whitehaven that came out to the alumni picnic. That's a shock. So, I like to see that again. I like to see some of my classmates again. We're all here to have fun. And when I last went there 4 years ago, Jimmy, I looked at how class 94 got down, how class 95 got down. I want to see some togetherness. Right. It's a known fact that I don't socialize a lot, that I don't like people much, but it's people like that still show signs of favoritism towards someone else or whatever. It makes me just disillusioned with them. Maybe with me going to this picnic again, if I see something different about how maybe I'll probably try to socialize more. But if I still see the same shit, it is what it is. But other than that, man, that's it.
Okay. Well, this is a real quick show, quicker than normal. So once again, this your boy live and direct in full effect out the 832 with my boy out the 662, and y'all already know how both of us do. And by the way, Milwaukee looks like they finna lose, so it'll be a 2-2 series. You know what I'm saying? So it look like this series ain't gonna get done no time soon. So that'll give Golden State a little bit more rest. So it is what it is. So once again, this your boy live and direct out the 832 with my boy out the 662. And y'all already know how both of us do. Good night and don't drink and drive.
Peace out, and a pleasure has been all yours.